Hey guys, Professor Bill Comic Book University and Spider-Man City at War, issue number 3. This is part of the Gamerverse. The Gamerverse, which is hopefully a brand new world where new things can happen, but for right now, it's just the video game. I am on record for saying that issue number 1, I had high hopes for issue number 2. Issue number 2, I'm on record for saying, hey, there's some new content here, that's pretty cool, different from the video game. Issue number 3, not even remotely the case. Let's get into who made the book. Then we'll talk about the book itself. Okay, so we got writer Dennis Hopeless Hallam, artist Michelle Bandini, colors David Curiel, letters VC's Travis Lanham, and Clayton Crane is on the cover art. The variant cover artists are Gang Hyuk Lim, another by David Nakayama, doing the Sinister Six Vulture variant cover, which is actually a gorgeous cover. I showed all those. Spider-Man was created by Stan Lee with Steve Ditko. Look, man, I did not play the video game. I watched the video game. I watched play. Typical Gamer specifically is the guy. I watched his playthrough of the video game. It was a pretty cool game. I loved it. I thought there was a whole lot of really good stuff there. Dr. Octopus fight could have been better. That's like the final battle. Hello, but all in all, it's a pretty good fight. Yeah. That being said, although I don't have the memory of actually playing the game and getting into the game, I do have the memory of watching the game. I don't see the book as being that different. Very slight differences from there. So I have to sit here and wonder, what was the purpose of Dennis Hopeless Hallam actually writing this book? Because in reality, he technically didn't. There's a question at the end of that. Based on a story by John Paquette, Brian Intihar, and the Insomniac Games writing team. Co-written by Christos Gage, with additional story contributions by Dan Slott. And as I said, there's not a whole lot that is different from the actual walkthrough that I saw, the playthrough that I saw. What was the purpose of this book if we're not going to get something new in here? Because, see, to me, the best part of this, and they do focus on the idea that Mary Jane is a reporter in here. She's got a different, take on things. And I love that. I really do. I love the idea that they're going to do something different than the story itself. Than the actual video game itself, a different story. I love the idea that they would do something like that. But I'm just not seeing it here. I love that version of MJ. And again, I'm a little sick, guys. So, I'm sorry if I'm a little bit ruder than I usually am. Anything that I'm not, my typical self in. But besides a gorgeous new costume, which should be, mandatory, I think that there are a couple of fixes to what we saw in the video game that would be better, that would make it for a more expanded universe that we could actually see and engage. Most of us have already played the video game. I personally don't play video games anymore. It's very hard to find the time to sit down and devote to playing a video game. Even like the little app video games on your phone and things like that, it's very hard for me to find time to do that. You guys see how many videos I put out, and I actually work for a living too. CBU doesn't support me, isn't enough for me to actually survive. No. So, yeah, man, I just see it as this should have been, the stuff in the video game should have been the backdrop for this. That we see so much else happening, and then in the background we see something from the video game happening, or we collide with that and then move on and divert from it. That's what this book should have been. And then the Gamerverse actually becomes something entirely different, where you have Daredevil from the Gamerverse and just make it into basically the ultimate universe. But that's not what we're getting. That's not what I'm seeing yet. And thus, this book is an utter disappointment for me. There's so much more that they could be doing with this. Please understand, I'm not trying to blame Dennis Hallam for this. Dennis is an amazing writer. I've read things from this guy that just make me go, holy crap, he gets it. So I'm not happy with what I'm seeing here, but I'm not. I don't know enough of behind the scenes to know that this is his fault. Maybe it's just he's told, this is what I need you to write, blah, 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 blah. And in the future, we're going to see this. And Dennis isn't the type to talk a whole lot, from what I've seen. He's not the type to talk a whole lot about, oh, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, he's a, in the future, guys, I'm going to be writing about Spider-Man doing this and this and this, but for now, I'm just got to write this. He's not going to explain those things. It's a shame, but at the same time, it's part of his personality. I just want to see more out of this. I want to see new characters emerge from this. And I don't want to see 4 issues or 5 issues of what I'm reading now for the 6th issue to have something that diverges, or for the whole thing, God forbid, to just be the video game. We were promised that wouldn't be the case. And right now, that's all I'm seeing. And thus, this book is a disappointment to me. Excuse me. Anyway, guys, obviously, I mean, the art, you can look through this book. Any page that you open to, going to be a good page. And, these are great scenes from the video game that you're going to remember and love and want to see reenacted in some way, but is what it is. That's not what we're really getting here. Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.